What's going on? It's Eddie with Guitar Mastery Method, and I'm fired up because I'm going to teach you how to solo using a simple 6-note pattern. I'm also going to do it in 5 minutes, so without further ado, let's get started. Oh wait, before I forget, be sure to stick around till the end of the lesson because I've got a free gift for you and your guitar that you're going to love. Okay, so let's check out this 6-note pattern quickie solo thingy. So what I was doing there in the beginning was essentially just running through a 3-chord chord progression, E, A, and B, 1, 4, 5, using this 6-note pattern. So what I did was, over the E chord, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 on the low E, and then 5, 7 on A, and then 5 on D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this isn't necessarily a complete scale, or is it meant to be a complete scale, but these are just great notes that you can just pick up a guitar and start riffing away and make something happen, you know? So all you want to focus on, just to get you started with this whole concept, is this simple 6-note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's over the E. So if we're grooving, we can just run through the pattern and then play different random notes and it just kind of works, you know? So that's the 6-note pattern when we're dealing with an E chord. Now, if we're going to an A chord, right, when we move on to the A chord, right, we're actually going to take the same 6-note pattern and bring it down a string. So starting on 5, 6, 7 on the A string, 5, 7 on D, and then 5 on G, there's that 6-note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now it's over an A chord. And because we're in this position now where we have the low E string open, what we can actually do, and this is what I was doing, was I would just bring my thumb barely over the horizon here on my fretboard and just not even really fretting it. It's definitely not, you know, pushing against the string. It's just like kind of gently grabbing it. And that's enough to actually sound out the note. And I'm using that, you know, this is just something a lot of like old blues cats do. A lot of guitar players do this, but it's something that, you know, when it comes to thumb placement, you have to already have a comfortable control over how you place your thumb, you know, to do something like this. But if you're in that position, this is a great time to do that. You can bring your thumb over, play that A note, and then just kind of run through that pattern. And what's great about that is this is movable now, so we can move it over other chords. So when we're doing the 5 chord, which is B, we're bringing that same pattern, only we're bringing it up 2 frets. So now we're starting from 7, 8, 9 on the A string, 7, 9 on D, and 7 on G. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So over each chord in this progression that we're doing, E, A, and B, we have that 6-note pattern, and we just move that pattern over to accommodate each chord. And like I said, you can go through a random assortment of those notes and a random pattern. In fact, it actually, I recommend you wander through the notes and sort of play them in random sort of spots rather than just linearly going up and down. You know, you don't want to just be doing this. You know, unless there's a moment that calls for that, but as a habit, you don't want to just like go up and down that pattern because it's the same thing as going up and down a scale where you're just conveying musical information rather than actually playing music. So for example, if we were to take this pattern over an E chord, right? Do something like this, just like just play notes randomly just to get a feel for how they sound, because when you sort of get to know how they sound, it'll inspire musical ideas. So instead of just playing it up and down, you can actually go through it in a way that's more musically coherent. So like, and of course, like adding some rhythm to it would really help. So like either tap your foot or throw on a metronome, pretend it's a drum loop, and then just play to it in a way that's groovy. So you're not just free-forming it the whole time. If you add some rhythm to it, it can make it really fun. So this is like soloing in the sense where it's just like you solo with your guitar. It's like you by yourself, just coming up with ideas, sitting down and just playing. It doesn't require all of the complications with like improvisation and stuff like that. We're just having fun, essentially. Just taking this simple 6-note pattern, adapting it to different chords, and just having fun with it. Oh, and by the way, if you're getting some value out of this lesson, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel because it really helps us out and also lets us know that you want to see more lessons just like this one. All right, now let's get back to it. And another thing that's cool is when you have this 6-note pattern that starts on the A string, right? And remember how we're taking care of the bass note right above on the low E string? That actually makes it movable. So you can adapt it to literally any chord. Like if we were to bring it over here, that's a D note right there. Take the same pattern. Now we've applied it to D, right? Or if we were to bring it over here, what's this? That's C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking that same 6-note pattern, right? And adapting it now over a C chord. Or if we were bringing it down here, first fret, that's an F. Although I know, most people aren't going to venture there. But if we were to do that same 6-note pattern, the same rule applies. Right? So it can be in the form of a progression where you have multiple chords in this kind of blues rock sort of fashion. Or if you're just going to pick over a certain key and predominantly focus on the key, right, or the tonic, right? So if it's like, let's say something in the key of C, and you just want to put focus on the C chord or the tonic note, right? Then you can just adapt that pattern there. So just to quickly recap, when we were playing over that 3-chord progression, the E, A, and the B, we took the 6-note pattern and adapted it to each chord. So for E, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we were to just apply a little bit of rhythm to that and then just play through those patterns, as they reflect chords, it's like we're playing through a chord progression rather than just noodling over a scale implying just one chord. So in just a short time, you have learned how to have fun soloing with just a simple 6-note pattern. There's so many fun new musical ideas that are just waiting to be unlocked now that you know this stuff. But of course, I can't just stop it there, because there's so much more that we can cover when it comes to soloing, much less having fun. And I just so happen to have the perfect thing for that, and it involves that free gift I was telling you about. And speaking of which, it's right here. Oh. This right here is a free bonus lesson that's going to teach you how to instantly solo in any key. So remember we talked about how you can take that 6-note pattern and move it to different keys or different chords on the fretboard? Well, if you don't know how to navigate the fretboard just yet on how to find all of those keys, this bad boy is going to get you there. And like I said, it is yours 100% free. Just be sure to click the link to claim your copy or check that link in the description box. Even though it can be a little daunting sometimes trying to learn how to solo on guitar, at the end of the day, what matters most is that you're having fun, no matter how simple or complex your approach is.